This is the Quantum2 MT Flux. It's a brushless monster truck that's 10 scale, 4-wheel drive with waterproof electronics from Maverick, which is the basher brand under HPI. HPI's been around for a really long time. This is an all-new platform though, because a lot of people are familiar with the first version, and I have a funny story I'd like to tell you about it. About 4 years ago, that first platform came out, and Maverick wanted us to sell it at AMain Hobbies. We said, send us some samples. They sent us samples, we tested them, and we found out those cars had a lot of room for improvement. So we decided not to bring them in. They were never offered at AMain Hobbies. One of the vehicles that was sent to us as a sample had an issue where the suspension bound up and it wouldn't rebound, and the arms just wouldn't move freely. It just drove funky, and I pulled the shocks off and realized, well, that car inspired this YouTube video. And that was a really popular and successful YouTube video, 200,000 views. And I can only imagine how many people that video genuinely helped out. Well, in that video, we used the Maverick car, of course, and we showed the car, but we were really careful not to show any brand names. We didn't want to call out Maverick. We didn't want anybody to know what car or chassis it was. We were really careful about that. We just wanted to show what was helpful and not try to talk trash. Well, in the thumbnail of that video, I used the Maverick car. And Maverick saw that video, and they saw their car right as the thumbnail. And they were not happy about this. But it was after the fact. The video was already up. We were going to take it down. What can you do? So, it's been 4 years, and the Quantum 2 is here. Maverick called us up again a few months ago. We've got new cars. They're all new. They're way better. Let us send you some samples. They sent us samples. We tested them, and the cars were dynamite. So today, I'm happy to say we have the new and improved Quantum 2 here, and we're going to check it out. We're going to speed run it, and then we'll give it a good old-fashioned bashing. All right, manual. New transmitter, got some adjustments up top. There's also LEDs in the truck and the bumpers that's controllable with the button on the transmitter. Takes 4 AA's, not included. Woo! So pretty good looking truck. The paint job on here is really nice. There's 2 paint colors for the brushless, 2 more paint colors for the brushed. Bottom side of the truck looks really nice. There's 2 skid plates on the front and back that are replaceable as they wear out. Let's pull the body off. Now, something interesting is that both trucks have an 11.2-inch wheelbase, yet their width is 14 inches. So for doing flips, popping wheelies, stunt type of driving, this chassis platform should do really well with. So I mentioned the bumpers have the LEDs. There's a front LED, and there's also a rear LED that activates brake lights too when you brake. Now with the brushless model, it's an 80 amp ESC that is 2 and 3 cell LiPo compatible, a 3500 kV motor in there, and then the steering servo sits underneath the ESC plate, and then the receiver sits inside this enclosed box with the switch on top. Going down the center is also this gold chassis brace that is going to add some stiffness to the vehicle, and then the 4-wheel drive shaft connecting the front and rear gearboxes is underneath down low in the chassis. The chassis has this really cool honeycomb design underneath it too, which is going to make the plastic tub chassis a bit more rigid and durable. Now in the brushed version, it does not come with this aluminum bar, but when you look in the manual, it's just these few parts if you wanted to add this brace to the brushed version. Now most of the truck is made out of plastic, which is going to be ideal for bashing around. Flexible plastic that can take hits but keep on going is the way to go when you're jumping and just doing crazy stuff. The front drive shafts are CVDs supported on bearings, and then there's big chunky gear differentials inside these gearboxes. They are oil filled, as are these shocks. These shock absorbers have an aluminum cap, aluminum bottom cap, and then they are a threaded plastic body with another aluminum spring tensioner. The shock towers are plastic, but they have these nice little protective pieces up here on the top that house the body mounts. So if you're gonna tumble or land on your lid, all that force that then gets pushed into these body mounts will go into this secondary plastic piece, not the shock tower. Now the steering links are also solid plastic. They're really flexible and they're connected to a double bell crank system that has an adjustable servo saver nut, which is really nice. So you can adjust the servo saver tension. The battery box just uses a Velcro strip, which is really convenient to house a lot of different sizes of batteries. There's an XT60 connector, and then we also have a double pad slipper clutch back here. And with 3 screws, the motor cap, which is sealed, will pop up to expose your spur gear if you need to access it. And then that is a fixed pitch motor mount. And then the rear end is using dog bones that are going to traditional hubs with a solid link up top. And then if we go all the way to the back, we have a rear bumper with a wheelie bar. There are bearings in here to help these wheels spin. And then the rear LED bar is in this rear bumper, which again, you can activate on the transmitter. So here's the regular MT non-flux in the orange paint scheme. Looks pretty nice with the matching orange wheels. And the trucks are really similar. But you'll notice there's different electronics in the brushed model, and then it's going to lack that center chassis bar. The brushed version is also going to have CVDs in the front, not dog bones. And then everything else with the drivetrain, the shocks, all the other parts, everything is going to be identical between these two trucks. Timeout. The steering servos are different between these two trucks. That's kind of unheard of, but the brushless model comes with a faster, more powerful servo. We just didn't realize it when we filmed this, but it's extremely noticeable when we drive them back to back for the speed run, and you'll see that in a minute. So something kind of fancy are the 5mm oversized axles used on the front and rear. So you're gonna need an 8mm wheel nut driver to pop off these tires. So behind that wheel is a metal hex. It's a 14mm hex, so it's gonna be similar to the Arrma 3S BLX vehicles. On the brushed version, this is a plastic hex, not metal. Now these tires are 2.8 size, and they are called the Linebackers. They're Maverick's own tire. It's kind of like a low profile tire on there. The tire is glued onto the wheel, and then we have some wheel vent holes inside. It's speedrun time, and first is the brush truck on 2S. Next is the brushless on 2S. So a little bit faster, and it's noticeably torquier too. Something I just noticed after using the brushless and the brush back to back, the brushless steering is quite a bit peppier, and it uses a different steering servo. Brushless on 3S. Brakes are good. On this slick blacktop, the truck slides around pretty well, but it has a little bit of a push out of the steering, so it corners really stably, and it's easy to drive. So we've got the truck on 3S still from the speed run, and all the bashing will be on 3S with the truck. Right now we're at the parking lot of the track where it's pretty flat but kind of rocky, and let's just fling some roost. so much rotation. It's like when you hammer the throttle in the air, it just kicks super hard. Oh my gosh. That front left suspension arm completely folded back. Nothing broke, but the front left drive shaft has the tiniest amount of little wiggle to it. Having it just come down and land from all those feet, pretty abusive. So let's go do something else. So after bashing these trucks, they're dynamite. We mainly bash just the Flux version, but the best things about it is super soft plastics. They have so much give, it's gonna be hard to break the plastics. They're great for taking hard hits. The steering is also pretty mild with a slight push, and it makes the trucks just really easy to drive. They don't want to traction roll, they have lots of cornering performance, and they're gonna be excellent for somebody that's just starting or somebody new to the hobby. Flipping back on the lid though, that's pretty easy to do on 3S, so you're gonna have to watch the trigger finger, or maybe just lower the wheelie bar. Now the brushless Flux is really inexpensive for what it offers. It's only $275, and then the brushed version is $200. And for the extra $75, you get not only brushless electronics, but a better steering servo. And I think that is totally worth it. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm Brett from AMain Hobbies, and go check out the Quantum2 Monster Trucks with our links down below. And if you want more RC videos, check these out.